with meat on her bones, Jenna told the group at the salon. You mean a man who likes a woman who is loud? Leo chimed in from the corner. Mind your business, boy, Jenna snapped. Max and Reggie were tasked with bringing quality candidates. The guest list included a police officer named Bill and a high school coach named Scotty. It also, unfortunately, included Reggie's obsessive girlfriend, Kiki Van Doren. The night started with a $1,500 bottle of wine that Lana brought over. It's a 1936 vintage, Lana bragged. I picked it out myself. It's red, Max noted. Let's put it on heat. The atmosphere shifted when Kiki arrived. Kiki spent the first 20 minutes criticizing the decor. I see you've tried to do something different, Angelica. It looks like you're spending all of Max's money, and you're spending all of Reggie's patience. Angelica smiled thinly. When the suitors arrived, things went from bad to worse. In the kitchen, Kiki whispered to Angelica. You can't help Jenna. She needs to lose weight. Those guys work out. They don't want that. Angelica's eyes flashed. Listen to me, Kiki. There is someone for everybody. Didn't you find Reggie? And that's a miracle of science. The dinner was interrupted by a commotion in the living room. Jenna had overheard the guys talking. So this is how y'all do me? Jenna shouted, standing over the table. Let me tell you fools something. You'd be lucky to have a woman like me. If something goes wrong. She grabbed a turkey leg, shoved it into a to-go box, and marched out. Wait, Max called out. You forgot the mac and cheese. I'll be back for it tomorrow. She yelled from the driveway. Chapter 7, Peaches and Prayers. The final act of the Blythewood saga began with a smell. A pungent, skunky smell emanating from the hallway near Leo's room. Angelica found the evidence. A perfectly rolled joint. Max, our son is a drug lord, she screamed. Max ran into the hall. Angelica, calm down. It's one joint. One joint leads to the needle, Max. Next thing you know, he'll be living on the street with no teeth, scratching himself and calling people peaches. I won't have a crackhead child. It's not crack, Angie. It's weed. And Leo's a good kid. They staged an intervention the second Leo walked through the door. Son, Max said, trying to be the cool dad. Mary Jane? Leo asked, confused. Oh, the girl from math class? Yeah, she's cool. I got her number. Don't play with me, Angelica shouted, holding up the joint. We found your stash. Leo looked at the joint. Then he looked at the stairs. That's not mine. That belongs to Nana Viv. Max and Angelica froze. Nana Viv, I will accept your apologies in the form of cash, checks, or a PlayStation 5, Leo said, crossing his arms. They found Nana Viv in the kitchen, calmly folding napkins. Viv, Max said gently. Is this yours? Nana Viv sighed, her shoulders sagging. I wasn't gonna tell you. I didn't want a fuss. I've been taking chemotherapy for a little spot of cancer. The marijuana. The doctor prescribed it. It calms my stomach after the treatments. The room went silent. Angelica burst into tears, throwing her arms around the older woman. Oh, Viv, why didn't you tell us? We're family. I'm not dead yet, Viv grumbled, though she hugged Angelica back. And stop crying on my apron. It's silk. I'm sorry, Leo, Max said, turning to his son. It's cool, Dad. Just don't call me Peaches. Chapter 8. The Proposal Paradox. The final weekend in Blythewood was supposed to be a romantic getaway for Reggie and Kiki. But Reggie had a secret. He had bought a $57,000 ring. I'm gonna ask her to marry me, Reggie told Max at the studio. Without a prenup? Max asked. A prenup is a setup for failure, Reggie quoted Kiki. Meanwhile, Julian and Lana were having their own crisis. Lana had seen a ring box in Julian's bag and panicked. I don't know if I'm ready to get married, Lana told Angelica at the salon. I like the freedom. I like not having someone ask me where I am every 5 minutes. But you already live together, Angelica argued. You're already doing the work. Why not get the benefits? When Julian finally sat Lana down for a talk, He didn't propose. He just wanted to talk about the business profits. Oh, thank God, Lana exhaled. Wait, Julian frowned. Are you relieved I didn't propose? I thought you wanted to get married. I thought you wanted to get married. I was terrified. They spent the next hour arguing about who didn't want to get married more. Well, I'm glad we're on the same page, Julian snapped. I'm gonna go sleep on the couch. Fine, my couch is always available, Lana yelled back. As the sun set over Blythewood Heights, Max and Angelica sat on their porch, sharing a glass of cheap wine. You know, Max said, leaning his head back. Our friends are crazy. Our son thinks we're insane. And our housekeeper is a secret rebel. Angelica smiled, leaning into him. It's a disaster, Max. A complete, beautiful disaster. I love you, baby, Max whispered in his best berry white growl. Don't start, she laughed. Leo is listening. Let him listen, Max grinned. He needs to learn how the pros do it. And in the distance, the smooth bass of a soul record began to play, echoing through the thin walls of Blythewood, promising that tomorrow would be just as chaotic as today. The end. The Velvet Heights Chronicles. Love, Lies, and High-Octane Hysteria. Chapter 1. The Berry White Blues. The walls of the Sterling Manor in Velvet Heights were not so much barriers as they were suggestions. Built with aesthetic grandeur but acoustic negligence, they served as a constant broadcast system for whatever transpired in the master suite. Maverick Jr., known to everyone as M.J., sat at the breakfast island, methodically drowning his cereal in milk. He was 13, possessed of a sharp tongue and ears that functioned like high-gain radar. His father, Maxwell Sterling, a man whose physical stature as a former star athlete was often undermined by his domestic anxieties, slumped into the kitchen. I didn't want to hear it, Pop M.J. said, not looking up. But then again, a part of me did. Morbid curiosity, you know? Maxwell froze, a coffee mug halfway to his lips. You shouldn't have been listening, son. Hard not to. M.J. retorted. When the Gary White record starts spinning, and that deep, gravelly voice starts rumbling through the floorboards. I love you, baby, baby. I know the Sterling household is either entering a state of diplomatic peace or total war. It's Barry White. Maxwell corrected reflexively, though his face was a shade of crimson that matched the interior of the Ferrari his wife had recently incinerated. And we were discussing things. Discussing. Pop, when you come down smiling like you just won the Super Bowl, and Mom follows you down singing soul classics. The neighborhood knows the discussion went well. But today, you're frowning. The silence is louder than the music. Maxwell sighed. His wife, Angelica, the reigning queen of the Gilded Crown Beauty Emporium, was currently sleeping in. In the world of the Sterlings, a sleeping Angelica was a dormant volcano. You didn't poke it. You just waited for the ash to settle. How's your night, Dad? M.J. asked with a smirk. It was complicated. Your mother and I are in a verification phase, right? That's grown-up talk for. She still thinks you're a cheater. Good luck with the big test today, Pop. I'm heading to the bus. If the walls start vibrating again, I'm calling the HOA. Chapter 2. The Ashes of a Mercedes. The conflict centered on a woman named Serafina Thorne. She was a ghost from a past Maxwell didn't recognize, claiming a child that Maxwell didn't father. In a fit of righteous, albeit misplaced, fury, Angelica had used Maxwell's vintage Mercedes and his entire bespoke wardrobe as a celebratory bonfire. An hour after M.J. left, Angelica descended the stairs. She was a vision of fierce elegance. Even in a silk robe, Maxwell, she said, her voice a cool breeze before a storm. I've been thinking all night. That explains the smoke I smelled at 3 a.m., Maxwell muttered. I've decided to trust you. She continued, ignoring the jab. I believe you didn't sleep with that Thorne woman. I'm letting it go. Maxwell felt a weight lift, followed immediately by a sense of impending dread. With Angelica, letting it go usually meant she was simply reloading. Thank you, baby.